Welcome to JumpShot Therapy, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Ear Candy. My name is Dylan Barretto. I'm the boss baby. I am Pancake Pants. I'm Basil Buns. I'm here again with the Human Sweater Vest, Muslim Goku, Alfredo Velez. And to my left is the Joker to my Batman, the Statman, who again does not have his computer.
How you
I actually do have my computer. It's just in my bag.
We were literally sitting here setting up for the last 10 minutes, and he's just sitting here fucking on Twitter, not saying anything. We're doing mic tests. Fucking Hunter Davis. What's going on?
That is a small-ass laptop, though.
It's a MacBook. Doesn't need to be too big. And then, back in JST South, Mr. Sandviper, Big Brother himself, Steven Bretto. Hello.
Good evening, fellas.
Professional slurper.
Ooh, he's a professional slurper.
No
You didn't say peckerheads today.
No, you guys are still peckerheads. Especially the one that's not saying anything during sound check.
Yeah, that kid's a fucking peckerhead.
I don't know who that is.
It could be worse. We could be calling you a fucking zipperhead.
Wow.
That's insensitive. How's everybody doing today? It's been a nice little week off from doing this. I tried to get it going again early in the week, but it just didn't work out with our schedules. So we are here today on what is now Friday, October 5th. At 12:03 a.m. Just got done watching the Patriots and the Colts game. Heads up, I lost that, but I knew I was going to lose that. I just wanted to be different, just cause.
He is the weak link.
It's okay to be different.
Apparently, I'm the weak link on Thursdays. I had the Patriots text messages going, about to be sent out, and then I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna. The off chance Andrew Luck has a good game. Yeah, your fucking mother's holding you back.
Spoiler
alert, your mother holds you back. Fuck you. We got a lot of good stuff going on. Some NBA preseason has started. We're not going to be talking about baseball, but Yankees-Red Sox playoffs. I'm excited. Hunter's excited. He's a bitch, though. And we're going to get some more football news in here, along with picks. So, first thing I want to talk about was Melo Ball giving that guy from Lithuania pow-pow. He gave that guy a nice pow-pow.
All right, before we even get into deeper, Melo Ball did instigate the situation by pushing him after the foul. And then the Lithuanian dude gave him like a little love tap on his ear.
And then LaMelo was like, "What, bitch? Bah! Tequila pow pow, bang!" which I love this in particular because I have a pow pow story from when I first started playing basketball.
Before you start this pow pow story, if you look, Jello Ball is a real brother, dog.
He ran in there. Big brother was in there. My brother wouldn't have been there. My brother would be like, "You made your bed, no sleep in it."
Shout out to Jello Ball for sticking up for his little brother.
Yeah, whatever there. But let's get into this pow-pow story. So let me take you back 8 years now. Okay. I'm starting to play basketball. I'm signing up for a basketball league. So I have to give my information. I have to give paychecks, all that good stuff, right? And I'm going to the scorer's table to give my stuff. And my friend Mike Green, called him Fat Mike, came up. He goes, "Yo, Dylan, what's going on? How you doing?" Puts his hand out to give me dap. And me going like, "Oh, what's good?" I go to give him dap hard as fuck, completely not knowing that there's a kid's mother right there at the table. So he moved his hand. It was like, psych! And I just smacked the shit out of this kid's mom. And she was so tight that this fucking 15-year-old just smacked the shit out of her. I'm grabbing her face. I was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." She's like, "Get the fuck go of my face." You've already smacked the shit out of me. Let go of me. I was like, I'm sorry. So to this day, every time I see Mike Green, he just goes, "Hey, yo, Dylan, remember that time you smacked that kid's mother?"
I don't think I have any football stories like that. Or basketball
We here
stories.
at JumpShot the Rapey do not condone domestic abuse.
But JumpShot the Rapey, sponsored by JumpShot Therapy, does.
Also sponsored by Shannon's Day.
Sponsored by Shannon's Day. Go smack some kid's mother.
Brought to you by that kid's mom's face.
God, I forgot whose mom that is. I think she definitely forgot about me, but it's definitely been a good
It'll
amount of
probably be
time.
a story, but like, remember that?
It's one of my favorite stories.
How do you
It's-
forget getting slapped by a 15-year-old at a basketball game?
You probably don't forget the fact that you got smacked, but you definitely forget the kid that did it.
Yeah. That's true.
What else do you got?
Kyrie announcing today that he's staying in Boston.
Good for
I
him, man.
cannot wait to get my 5 Big Mac meals.
Whatever, I'll give you 5 Big Macs. That means I'll be buying one for
But
me
it's
too.
not official until it's on dotted line, dude.
Exactly. Until he signed on the dotted line, it is what it is. But I'm glad he actually came out and committed. Like, I was never against Kyrie committing. I was against the delusion that he wouldn't even consider it because he was dodging the fact that he was dodging the commitment. Which is ridiculous because if you're a Boston fan and you're a Boston media, you're obviously like, oh yeah, he's gonna sign.
Yeah.
But to everyone else in the world that pays attention to basketball,
I think he wanted his Paul George moment.
I
He's
think.
in front of a crowd and he just lets everybody know.
Thanks for
Staying.
cutting me off, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
But
You slapped the kid's mom in the face.
I did slap the kid's mom in his face, but I didn't interrupt her.
You went interrupted her peaceful.
But like I was saying, compared to everybody else in the world who pays attention to basketball, it just seems like he was just spouting a whole bunch of horse shit. Just like answering the question the right way, just seeing what everybody wanted to hear, but without giving the commitment. So I'm glad he gave the commitment. It's assuring Boston
but a
for
lot
the
of
next
players
5
say,
years.
I want to be here. I want to be here for X amount of time,
And then they go back on their word.
and then they do something else. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It'll,
They show-
it'll
so
honestly
there's a
come out
document
until like
that
what
says
happens
so.
until what happens at the end. of
Yeah,
the season.
it's hard to come back from that though.
Yeah, so now he's on record of it, and then if he leaves, Boston's gonna hate him. Boston's gonna hate him. So that's the difference between Boston media and sports media and New York media. Boston will hate you the second you do them wrong. New York will hate you the second you put on a New York uniform.
Yeah.
That's my next question. Which media market is the worst, New York or
So define worse.
worst?
New York.
Like, worst as in just fan base media towards their teams.
Fan base, I think, is Boston. I think Boston's the worst fan
I think
base.
Boston's a bunch of racists.
Okay, let's not get into that.
Yeah,
I
let's
think
skip that.
I think the Boston fans are the worst because in every sport in the last decade or so, they've succeeded. So
That's
now
one of the
it's fucking like they're privileged to it, and they expect nothing but it, and all they do is talk their shit. As opposed to New York media, New York media is just a bunch of hate. It's literally hate speech.
Yeah, and
Which
like
is
is Stephen A. Smith. He's a Knicks fan.
why do you
but
call him
he's-
Stephen?
Stephen A. I don't care. As a P in it, I don't give.
Steven.
I really don't care. Like when he talks about the Knicks, he's a Knicks fan, but he be thrashing them.
Yeah, because they deserve to be thrashed. Like my favorite thing about New York media is they do not pull their punches, and if you suck, you suck.
Yeah.
It's not going to sugarcoat it and code it and make excuses and try to play to the media or just play to the
Like
fans.
if you could survive New York media, you could pretty much survive it.
can play
the
anywhere.
And then on the flip side, a terrible thing, and what Dylan was saying was, like, when they drafted Kristaps,
Everybody booed
They
him.
booed him.
Oh, they shitted on his ass.
They did, yeah. So
And then when they
make
played,
two
it's like,
early
holy shit, this guy.
Now
is
they
good.
love him. Now they absolutely
Like
love him.
Now they love him.
even this year with Kevin Knox, they're like boo, and then after
they don't know
like
shit.
towards the second round, they're like, actually, this guy's pretty fucking good.
One guy on that table over there really shitted on that Nick.
I will always. I did. I back it up. But I admit it. I shit on Kristaps. I also shit on Kevin Knox. They rightfully so. They
I
both
shit on
should have been
Anthony
criticized. They both should have been criticized for their
Well,
picks.
I think you shit on the Kevin Knox one because Michael Porter's still on the board.
Yeah,
Michael Porter is clearly the best player in this draft, but
we'll see.
we'll see. Luka is my other
A healthy
guy.
Michael
God.
Porter.
Luka's my next guy. But
Mine is
with
Ayton.
Kristaps, nobody knew anything about him, and Phil Jackson literally hasn't done shit. So he picked this guy trying to fit his old ass
Because the year
ancient
before
scheme.
he picked Ntilikina. Who?
No, he picked that last year. He picked Ntilikina last year.
Porzingis is in his second year going.
Third.
Third. Okay. All right.
Third year.
Yeah. Well, Ntilikina is.
Ntilikina, I shit on the Ntilikina pick all the time.
Porzingis
That
won in
didn't
the
make sense to me.
2015.
It doesn't make sense and it will never make sense, but it is what it is. But you were involved in a tweet earlier today, Fredo, where it was like, besides Ayton, Luka, Bagley, Trey, and who was the last one?
I'll look it up really quick. But
Anyway.
Carter?
shout out to Erica, EME Smaller producer for NBA Live. Homegirl. Let's see. All right.
While he's looking that up, do you think the Kyrie saying that he's going to re-sign with Boston puts pressure on Philly to make a move for another player?
No.
All right, I got the 4. It's 4. Doncic, Ayton, Trey, and Bagley. That's it.
Besides those 4, what's the player you're most excited to see? You said
Wendell Carter.
Kevin
I
Knox.
said Kevin Knox.
And you're saying Wendell Carter?
Yeah. I like him on the Bulls.
I don't care about anybody who's not Luka. Am I wrong for that? Because
It looks nice. I like Wendell Carter, though. He's got the size and the athleticism.
I like Lonnie Walker.
He's going to be
Lonnie
nice.
Walker's interesting.
Lonnie Walker's going to be very interesting to see in that Spurs fit.
Yeah.
But Luka
his
Doncic
hair.
is my guy. And we talked about it before these fuckers even got to this point when we had shitty mics that Luka Doncic is my guy.
Yeah.
And he will always be my guy. He could have been the first overall pick to go run next to Devin Booker. And that would have been extremely fun to see. But back to your question, I don't think it puts pressure on Philly to make a move because I think Philly's team right now still competes against Boston.
But it put him over the
regardless,
top.
if Philly were to get another player, it would put them over the top.
Yeah.
Because I think talent for
I
talent.
think their bench is bad. Well, mediocre at best.
Who, Philly?
Yeah, they need more. They need more shooters.
They need more
Yeah, because they
depth
lost
in their bench.
Bellinelli and
They lost Bellinelli
Ilyasova.
and Ilyasova, but they did get Wilson Chandler,
He's-
who
But you still
He's
I love-
injury prone.
I-
He's
is a
but
baller.
Yeah.
He's good, but he cannot stay healthy.
I'm surprised they
Just like
haven't signed Jamal
Gallinari.
Crawford.
Apparently, Jamal Crawford has some interest from the Celtics.
Jamal
Both
Crawford
have
has interest
mutual
everywhere, and he
From
he
everywhere.
tweeted out earlier
He's
today
old as hell.
where he was like, "I'm
He's
not
sick.
just going to accept an offer. I could accept an offer just for the sake of accepting an offer."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
he
think
wants to ball out.
I think the most interesting pick would would be going to Philly because then he gets to run a second unit
Yeah.
and be the guy on a second
the
unit.
Sixers really don't have a second unit. Like they don't
They
have
just
a
have
six
TJ
man.
McConnell
Like, who's your
and-
six man?
Yeah, but they're going to have an interesting lineup because you're going to have Embiid and Simmons play more. They're not going to be on limit.
Yeah.
They're not on limited minutes anymore.
Yeah, they're not in time restrictions.
So they're going to be able to play and actually ball out, and it's going to be very interesting. Like I think they already match up favorably with the Celtics. Like if it's a 7-game series, they'll probably go 7 games all over again. But if they were to get a player, I think it would put them over the hump for it. But it's just a matter of who they're going to trade for.
Yeah.
Because they already don't have many assets to move.
Yeah.
And every team's like, well, we don't want to trade you unless you trade us Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
so.
you still got Ben Simmons on his rookie deal and
And
he's not
Embiid
gonna
on his
hold
rookie
no
deal
matter
and
what.
Fultz on his.
No,
Embiid
no,
signed that extension.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Embiid's
it's
not.
$154 million.
But like
Pending.
4 of that 5 people on that starting lineup are on the rookie deal.
Yeah,
Covington,
it's got
Saric.
the injury protection
Now
on.
Covington is like
Covington's no, he's not.
Covington
Covington
just
got
got
drafted.
signed to an extension.
Okay, so he's not on his rookie deal anymore. But
and JJ Redick.
So $90
yeah,
million. So
okay, so still
it
not
gave
a lot
him
of
less
money's
flexibility.
invested.
And Covington had a good regular season. He just
He got
had a terrible
first or
playoff.
second team on defense last
believe
year.
Yes, but
And he's a knockdown 3-point shooter.
yeah, but he's struggled in the playoffs. I think that was just lack of experience. I think him getting in there now is like, okay, I fucked up. I'm out here. I'm out here, son. Let's
Even
go.
Ben Simmons in the playoffs was pretty bad.
Well, that one game.
But you know who's my because next thing I want to get into who do you have in the East for top 4 at least? But don't sleep on the Raptors.
I'm not sleeping on the Raptors.
Because even though it's preseason, Kawhi's looking really good.
Yeah, I'm not sleeping on the Raptors.
He's
The Raptors,
really
if they
good.
met up with anybody else in the Eastern Conference last year besides the Cavaliers, they would have won. And I'm sticking to that firmly. And they just got better by getting a better defender and a better shooter. So, for me, in no particular order, Boston, Philly, Toronto, Milwaukee.
I forgot who
I
said
put
it
Wizards
last
over
year.
Milwaukee.
I won't.
I forgot who said it last year, but it was Stephen A. Smith. He said, he's like, if Philly has to pick one series to win in the next few years, it's got to be this one versus Boston, because he's like, Boston doesn't have 2 All-Stars. You got to beat them. If you don't beat them, now they're in your head. Now they're there, and then they got more firepower going into next offseason.
Yeah.
Or going into next season when the playoffs come around. Now they got Kyrie. They don't have to rely on Terry Rozier bricking threes.
Yeah.
late
And that's
in
a
the
healthy
game.
Celtics team, and that's scary too.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. I can't wait for the season.
It's going to be very interesting to watch them play. I can't wait. I'm going to be looking forward to their first couple of meetings because Kyrie, notoriously, if there's a bigger guy who's quick on him, struggles a little bit against defense.
Yeah.
On defense. So,
But yeah, it's not.
We'll see.
Now
You
with
see
this
the
team,
throw
now
that
with this
Kyrie
team,
has
you
right
could
now? He has a
pass
Kobe
it to
throw.
Jason Tatum. He'll knock down a three. Pass it to Gordon Hayward. He'll knock down a three. Jalen
Yeah.
Brown can knock down threes. Al Horford, Aaron Baines is knocking down some threes too. He'll probably shoot about
2 or 3 a game.
10% from the three.
Yeah, the only weak link is going to be J.J. Redick on that team on defense.
Yeah.
J.J. Redick's going to be the one who's going to slow down their flow on defense, but they're
Yeah.
probably going to just put J.J. Redick on Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he'll block like 3 shots on him.
yeah, he'll definitely get those shots on him because like out of all those guys in that starting 5, the one you have to worry about the least is Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
He is looking a lot better from preseason. I'm curious on how it's going to go to regular season. Is he looks a lot more comfortable in the post, and last year he looked a lot better from like
Outside.
outside from the 3-point line and shooting mid-range jumpers and stuff. He looked a lot more comfortable, and now he looks a lot more comfortable.
Well, he's going to have to abuse his size if he really wants to take advantage of it because the teams are literally going to put their worst
defense. He's like
6'6",
220,
6'6", 6'7", yeah.
Yeah, he's 6'6". Yeah.
But
That's a good basketball body.
He's got the
As
size.
a shooting guard too.
Yeah, he's
He
got
can play
Kobe
the 2 and the
size.
3.
He's
He's got Kobe
yeah,
size.
He's listed as a 2, so I mean, if he's playing a 3, then he's an undersized, or he's like a.
Every team is going to put their worst defender on him, so he needs to learn how to capitalize real quick. Which goes back to my thing is like Jaylen Brown has always looked like he's never been 100% comfortable having the ball.
Yeah.
And even last year,
So
there
he
was
just
a
needs
lot
to be a
of
slasher then.
there was a lot of times where he'd have the ball and he would look like he didn't know what to do with it.
He's still in his second year.
Still in his second year, but a lot of
Third
guys
year
who
now.
are in their first year know exactly what to do with the ball. If you've ever played basketball and you've been the guy, like you don't get drafted to the NBA if you weren't the guy on any other level, right? So if you've never been the guy, you wouldn't know how to do with the ball. If you were the guy, you know exactly what to do with the ball, and you don't second question it.
Even Jason Tatum was doing some of that shit last year too, where he would get the ball and it felt like the coaches had to be like, go and attack. You're like our best player on the court right now. When Kyrie and Gordon Hayward went down in the playoffs, it was like
He is the best
sometimes
player
he
on
was
the team
too
with them.
passive, and that's how I felt like Jaylen Brown was too. It's like
Well, Jaylen Brown doesn't have the killer instinct.
No, he doesn't have that dog.
no, and
Tatum does.
Tatum has that dog.
yeah, well, Tatum found it later in the playoffs, but early in the playoffs, I was like, what are you doing? You're the
Tatum's
best-
always had it. He just needed to know when to like turn it on.
yeah. So that's
But that also comes with youth. Jaylen Brown.
And he got taller.
The thing about the difference between those two is Jason Tatum has the offensive talent. Jaylen Brown does not. They're completely different offensive players. Where Jaylen Brown is like a hustle player.
Tatum.
Tatum
He's a really good defender.
It's just
is
skilled
a
offense,
fucking
yeah.
baller,
Yeah.
a baller, and will average 30 at some point.
He's got every weapon. Yeah. There's no,
And he got taller.
He's a mamba.
Yeah, somebody was
Yeah.
saying there's no weakness in his offensive game. He could score from the post. He could score from outside the three.
Yeah, I haven't seen a scorer come into this game and play the way he has. That's why I was so high on him at Duke. He played a small amount of time, but I was like, Boston needs to take him number 1.
Yeah.
And what if like Philly was like, oh, we're taking Markelle Fultz. Fuck you, we're taking Jason Tatum. I would have been so mad. I'd have been like, oh, Boston just fucked this up because I have a
Imagine
love
Jason
for the
Tatum
Boston
and Ben
Celtics
Simmons on the
organization.
same
Hunter
team?
just makes me hate them.
Yo, I can't even imagine Ben Simmons and Jason Tatum on the same team. That'd be scary.
that would.
That'd
That
be
would be-
very
That team
scary.
would be running the East for the next 10 years.
It'd be very scary because they literally have top 5 best at their positions. At
Ben
Easily.
Simmons at the point.
Embiid at the center, Tatum at the 4, 3,
shit,
2.
Covington at the
Actually,
3.
put him at the 2. Have a lineup of Simmons,
Redick.
Tatum, Covington, Saric, and Embiid.
That's a good one, yeah.
God.
That's a lineup.
That's a dynasty.
That's
in
a
the
lineup,
making.
and all those guys are all in their
Right.
first 5 years.
Oh, my God. That's scary to even think about.
And Philly had the chance.
Dumbass.
Yeah, but they need another guard. They needed
Actually,
someone to
Philly
help
said that.
facilitate.
Philly told Tatum, like, if you're, like, because when Boston had the first pick, Philly was like, if you're there, we're picking you at 3. And then apparently Danny Ainge knew. They say he knew that Tatum was going to fall.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? if
Well,
that's
because
true.
he had limited playing time. Very limited playing time because of injuries.
Yeah.
But it's also like
same thing, Kyrie
Boston
went number
was going
1.
to fuck up and not take him.
Yeah.
Even though they're like, oh, we were taking Jason Tatum at 1. No, you weren't. You were not.
Markelle Fultz hitting threes now.
Because there was no sure, like, going into that draft, there was no sure first overall pick. It was, I know there was like a lot of back and forth on who they should pick. It was between the 4 guys: Josh Jackson,
Who's a bum.
Lonzo,
I hate
Markelle,
Josh
and
Jackson.
Jason.
I hate Josh Jackson.
I forgot who Suns.
Sons.
My bad.
I hate him. I
I'm
do
glad
not.
he shaved off his afro.
There's like a Twitter account that's dedicated to like, did Josh Jackson have like a better night than Jason Tatum? And a lot of it was like, no. And then one night it was like, yes.
like my thing with Josh Jackson is he's a great defender,
Yeah, that's
but he's
fair.
also too thin.
It's a Michael Kidd-Gilchrist syndrome. Like
You can't be.
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is nice at defense.
If you're gonna be a
that
defender,
motherfucker-
you can't be that thin, dude. You need to put some meat on your bones.
Yeah, he was a
Robertson
shot
from the
80.
Thunder is pretty skinny.
Roberson,
Roberson.
he's got broad shoulders, but he's also smaller. Josh Jackson's like 6'9", 6'10".
Yeah, and he's skinny. Yeah.
Roberson's 6'6",
Yeah.
6'5". So you can't, if you're gonna be a lockdown defender like that, put some meat on your bones and figure out how to shoot a jump shot.
Yeah.
Because Devin Booker and Ayton can't do it alone. That's why I was like, I also thought the Suns should have drafted Luka Doncic, but what the fuck do I know?
That would have been nice.
That would have been very interesting to see Luka facilitate and then have Booker just take his shots. That would have been very fun to see.
What if they just put in what if Phoenix, like in hindsight looking back, what if they just drafted Doncic and then they went out and they got, they put an offer in for DeMarcus Cousins?
Yeah, there you go. It would have worked out fine because Doncic makes everybody better.
DeMarcus wouldn't have.
I haven't seen anything.
He's
that
not coming
NBA
back till
level yet.
January. February.
I've seen some of it. He makes his teammates
He's kind
better.
of slow.
And then you have the Phoenix Suns medical staff.
You could be slow and still create. Look at Ginobili.
Well, he's agile. Doncic,
But he's not
agile.
slow. Oh, yes, he is.
Doncic.
Doncic is very agile.
Doncic.
He does it.
Wasn't he
He's
the leading scorer in the EuroLeague last year? And
at
you don't do-
19. At 19.
Yeah, and you don't
18
do that
points
at
a game.
19.
Yes. He's the MVP of the EuroLeague, which is the second best league in the world.
Yeah.
Which is like,
No,
Fredo
third.
Fredo tends to value European talent a lot,
I do.
but I don't value the European talent unless they're the best. If you're the best at that league, you should play in the NBA.
Right.
If you're the best at the second best league, you should probably play and be average in the best league.
Yeah.
I don't agree with.
'Cause I don't know. I
all the other shit.
I like covering European, Asian. Like
Yeah,
like
most of those
Turkish
guys
sports
suck,
and
so I don't
stuff,
care.
So. I don't know. I just like paying attention to it. It's nice to see what other things are out there.
Yeah, I love looking at other garbage. Man, sometimes when I put my garbage out, I go look at my neighbors and be like, "Oh, what does this guy got? You fucking weirdo. What else do you got?"
No, we can start
Got some
talking
NFL
football.
stuff.
Actually,
Unless you guys have any-
I have something else.
What-
So I was reading a report. It was like, oh, a couple trade destinations for Jimmy Butler, obviously, but then they also were like Kemba Walker. And one of the things for Kemba Walker was they said Phoenix.
That'd be nice.
That'd be I think it was a very interesting trade. When I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, they give up X, Y, and Z for Kemba Walker, but I'm like, how does Kemba Walker fit into Phoenix? His scheme? Because
I don't know.
Because yeah, Kemba Walker has great stats, but he's been a scorer all his career.
But here's one thing I want to say: Kemba Walker and Kyrie's numbers are identical.
Yeah, but Kyrie's better than Kemba.
What,
For
wait,
sure.
They had the same points and assists per game.
Yeah, but whose points are
Listen,
more
that's
valued?
like saying Hines ketchup and Hunt's ketchup.
Okay.
Hines is way better than fucking Hunt's.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, so like let's look at their average. Whose average is more important to their team?
Kyrie's.
Kyrie's. He's averaging all of that stuff on a shit team. So why does it matter?
But Kyrie has a good team. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. But
Are you-
Kyrie also was averaging in Cleveland. The thing is, Kyrie's averaging like great numbers in Cleveland and still like having decent records.
Yeah.
Kemba has like a solid team around him and still puts up those numbers, and they never do anything.
Because they only
You've
got
seen
him.
guys before in the NBA when they average good numbers on a shitty team, and when they go to a good team, you don't ever hear from them ever again.
Boogie Cousins.
Boogie Cousins gets hurt.
But he did it on the Pelicans.
No, he did. What?
Yeah.
What?
Listen.
What?
Listen.
Who did
Because
A
it's
on
going
the
back to
Pelicans?
that point. He scored 26, but that was a quiet ass 26.
Wait, who did?
He said Boogie had garbage numbers
No. I'm not saying garbage number, but the value of his points were
because he also had AD who was putting up
Yeah,
40.
dude. What are you talking about?
But then that goes
There were
They
games
both
where
made the
AD put
All-Star team.
there were games where AD put up 45 and DeMarcus scored 26, and then there were games where DeMarcus scored 50 and Boogie and AD scored 20. You can't come with a number like that when you're not
Yeah.
paying attention to the whole thing.
But that goes
They were
to
both
your-
very important
They
to
were
that
both
team.
dominant.
goes to
Dominating. If one
Kemba
wasn't
Walker
dominating a
He's
game,
running
the
a
other
pretty
one
good
was.
team. He's putting up those numbers, but they don't mean anything.
DeMarcus was putting up great numbers on the
They were-
Kings, but then he was matched with someone just as good as
Kevin
him.
Love in Minnesota.
That's a better one to say. Kevin Love in Minnesota was averaging what, 25 and
Yeah,
almost
27.
20,
Yeah, because DeMarcus Cousins was still an all-star.
even
Out
on
west,
that Pelicans team.
Yeah.
So he still is putting up numbers. It's just you're comparing him to a guy who is literally the best at his position.
Yeah.
The two best guys at their positions are on one team.
If you made this hypothetical trade and say you found a way to make the money work, What if you traded Jimmy Butler to the Hornets since he wants to go out east for Kemba?
No, I don't think you do it.
You don't do it if you're who?
anything, you team them up.
If you don't do it if you're Jordan.
Oh, okay.
And Jordan is probably the
They're
worst
both in the
owner
last year of
NBA.
their deals too.
Yeah, so why do you trade Kemba for Jimmy? You're not going to keep either one of them. You have better luck keeping Kemba
Kemba
might stay.
Kemba wants
if they
to stay with
offer
the
him a
Hornets.
contract, which they're more than likely not going
What
to.
do you think Kemba goes to New York? If
Good for
Kyrie
him.
does not
He's
go
from
to
New
New
York.
York.
Good for him. He's from New York. I would love to have him in New York. I would love to have him in Brooklyn. I watched his whole college career. I love me some Kemba Walker. That was the last great Big East tournament and NCAA tournament that you'll ever have.
Took over after him?
Yeah, because the Big East got destroyed. They realigned the Big East after that. That was the last true Big East where you have Syracuse, St. John's, Georgetown, UConn,
Was probably
Pittsburgh, like all those guys won in the Big East tournament in the NIT, and then Hunter farted, and then going to the NCAA tournament where Kemba hits the step back jumper over the defender at Pittsburgh to seal the game.
Yeah.
Like those are
Actually,
iconic
they're
basketball
crazy, yeah.
moments. That's like the last time I really paid attention to college basketball because it was just perfect. It was perfect timing. It was great to be a basketball fan, not even just in Connecticut because of UConn, but in the Northeast because the Northeast was putting on a show.
Yeah.
All the guys that were drafted that year out of the Big East in the first 15 picks is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was talent. That's when you knew Kemba Walker was going to be a fucking star because he's undersized point guard at 6'1", but had the shooting ability out from the outside and all through the mid-range, having
And
quick
he
handles.
developed his three over time.
And he developed his three. The problem is they never surround him with another fucking star. They only surround him with, like, support guys. The best player that he's got a chance to play with has been Dwight.
Actually, Kemba was the only player drafted in the top 15 from the Big East.
Okay.
His year.
I stand corrected. But, like, all the talent that was in there because you still had
Ever
DeWant.
in the Big East?
No, just that draft specifically.
I got you.
Hashim Thabit was drafted another year.
What was it? What was
09.
the year where?
What, Kemba was drafted in when?
11.
Okay, I'm wrong.
What was the year where
Kyrie
UConn
and-
men's and women's won?
The last time Kemba won.
No.
That was 11.
2013?
Shabazz was there.
Yes, okay.
2013, right?
2013. Shabazz, Jeremy
That was a
Lamb,
great year.
all those guys. Shabazz also in that
But that UConn
championship
team,
game.
nobody expected them. Because that UConn
The Kemba
team?
team or the Shabazz team?
No, the Kemba team. Because they had to go up against that John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, right? Or was that the year before?
No, they got dumped in the first round, that Kentucky team.
That Kentucky team?
Kentucky usually drops out early.
Well, that Kentucky
They
team literally had the
usually
most
drop out
talent
early.
in a start.
Oh, yeah.
Literally the most talent on a team fucking ever
Yeah.
that I've ever seen. John Wall, Eric Bledsoe, DeMarcus Cousins, Patterson. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. But like that was a loaded team. Loaded team. They were gone in the first round. The UConn wasn't supposed to make it there because UConn was projected to lose in the NIT.
Bledsoe?
Yes, I said Bledsoe and Wall and all those guys. But UConn had to literally win the NIT to even get into the tournament.
Yeah.
And they literally didn't lose a game for 2 months. Went through and won the whole NIT and then went through and blew out the tournament. Which is fucking great. That was awesome to see. They busted my bracket so hard that year.
John Wall went the year before.
Yep.
So Kemba was a junior when he got drafted.
Yes. Kemba stayed all 4 years.
Right.
Which players should do. FYI, just in case y'all didn't know. Other news, and moving on. The Brooklyn Nets have decided to not make a run for Jimmy Butler. What the fuck? They said they want to roll with the guys in the rotation, which is
Karis LeVert!
Karis
My
LeVert,
guy.
Alan Crabb,
That's my
and
guy.
shut the fuck up, and Damari Carroll. And I'm like, why the fuck are you doing
Don't forget
that?
your franchise point guard. Yo, boy.
D-Lo.
Yeah, get him the fuck out of here too.
Lottery.
Yeah, but I think
You
the
guys got your
reason
pick this year too.
I feel like the reason why they didn't really want to make the pick is because Minnesota wants players and a first round pick, and we're not parting with that first round pick this
Yeah,
year.
no more first round picks for you.
And you finally have
more
a first round
picks for
pick in a
you.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they could have given him a future and still
Until you
got
get
him.
duped again.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. We got burned on that real hard one time. Fuck you, Billy King. But I'm real upset that we're not making a run for him. And it's stupid because if he give him an opportunity, we could give him the Paul George moment where he's like he can want to stay here and try to bring someone else in.
Yeah.
But whatever, fuck my life, I guess. I guess I can never have everything. But lucky for you, because you love garbage,
Yes, sir.
you get to keep all these fucking trash players that you
Yes,
love.
Lover, my Ethiopian sprinter.
I don't know why you even like these players. You like
Talent.
they're not talented. They're not talented.
They're not talented if they're out of the league in 2 years.
Yep.
Karis LeVert, the second he gets off this team, is not in the league.
Yes, he's better than most
We
of
were
the
just
freaking
talking
bench players
about
in the league.
No,
players
he's
who
not.
put up numbers on bad teams.
Karis LeVert doesn't even put up numbers.
Exactly.
13 points.
That's not numbers.
That's pretty good.
What year is he?
He's in his third year.
Second year.
Third year.
Oh, he was injured his rookie year.
So it's still his third year technically. Still technically his third year. But still, 13, that's garbage.
That's
On a bad team.
pretty good.
That's garbage. He's averaging 13 on a bad team. That's
All right.
trash.
Alan Crabb got
Garbage.
max
Garbage.
in Portland for averaging the same amount.
Yeah, but he was also a role player, like a sixth man. Like he played a lot of time. He was also there, very importantly, on defense to help McCollum. So he was also on the court with two of the best players in their positions.
Is he even like a really good player? Like,
Who, LeVert? Alan Crabb? He's a solid role player. He shouldn't have gotten the
He
deal he
should have got
got.
that deal.
Huh?
Should have got that deal.
He shouldn't have gotten that
We
deal.
offered him it.
We offered him that deal originally, and then Portland matched it.
Same
You guys
thing with
lucked out
Otto
there.
Porter. And I'm mad we didn't get Otto Porter.
I'm glad we didn't get Otto Porter. He's a bum. He's a complete bum.
Glad
He doesn't do anything in
you're
playoffs.
mad that you didn't get Otto Porter because you should be thankful.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything in
You guys
playoffs.
could get a run at some actual.
Actual free agents?
He's going in his third year now.
Yeah, this is his third year.
Otto Porter's a bum.
He is a bum. Like I'm not happy with mediocrity. Fredo could be happy with mediocrity all he wants because he loves these players that don't do anything.
I'm not happy talking about mediocrity, so let's talk about some football, all right?
Jared Allen, top 5 in fires.
You're the fucking worst. All right, you're literally the worst. Is Pat Mahomes the MVP?
Yeah. It's between him and Goff right now, but he's up. He's first.
Steven?
As of the first 4 games, yeah.
But wait, I got to quote you on something. Last week you said if Pat Mahomes... Well, how many touchdowns did he score last week? 1?
1.
You said last week, depending on how many touchdowns he scores this week, it will determine your MVP,
He's-
your MPV idea.
He's my MVP.
Still, even with the 1 touchdown last year.
Yeah, but he played great against good defense.
Even with 1 touchdown.
Yeah, but he also had a very impressive game-winning drive.
He also threw with his left hand on a big play, getting chased down by Von
4
Miller.
yards.
Okay, go out there.
chased
I want to see you do the same thing.
Let's
He's
go.
not left-handed, getting
go
chased down
96
by
right now.
Von Miller.
You're getting chased down by the best pass rusher in the league, or one of the best pass rushers in the league, rolling out to the left. You're going down. You swap hands as you're falling to throw the ball.
No, Von
It
Miller
wasn't
is
a
the
throw, it
best
was a
pure
toss.
pass rusher in the league.
He threw it. It's a throw. He threw it like
He
this.
threw it.
It's a throw.
A little...
Now, it's something that Brett Favre would do, and they said that's like the craziest thing they've seen. Like, I've seen fucking Brett Favre, like a clip of Brett Favre, like, tossing a 15-yard touchdown just underhanded like this.
Yeah, it's a flip.
Yeah. Just flipping the ball right into the back of the end zone.
Brett
It was
loved doing
fucking
that
nuts.
bullshit.
If Pat Mahomes is going to do that shit in his career because he's just a gunslinger. He's got that.
But the thing
sounds
is,
like
what's
Kermit
different
the
about
Frog.
Pat Mahomes, he's been very accurate.
He's got all those weapons. We'll see how it goes.
We got to see how it progresses, but like for someone to be a gunslinger and have a rifle the way he does, he's also got that red dot sight on it and is literally just putting it where it needs to fucking be.
Yeah, he's got.
The biggest test for him is going to be Sunday.
Yeah.
Who's he playing?
Jacksonville.
Because now you got the linebackers to match up with Kelsey. You got the corners. to
Safeties
match-
over the top.
Yeah, you got the safeties over the top. You got the corners to match up with the speed that the.
Watch out for Tyreek Hill this week because Jalen Ramsey is disrespecting the fuck out
he
of
said-
him.
I love
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey.
He literally
He said I
said,
made two-
he's like, it's not a wide receiver corner matchup. It's me being a all-pro at corner, a Pro Bowl at corner, versus Tyreek, who is a all-pro as a kick returner and as a punt returner, a Pro Bowler as a punt returner. Remember that.
I swear to God,
punt
if Tyreek
returner.
burns him, I'm going to fucking cry. I'm going to cry laughing.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a very fun matchup. Tyreek will have a solid game.
Because the thing about Jalen Ramsey is Jalen Ramsey just like, he's kind of like on the level of like Steve Smith, but sometimes he just doesn't, like, week 1 versus the Giants, he didn't really back it up. Like, he got burnt by
Odell was having his way.
Yeah, he's having his way.
Odell was having his way.
Odell's gonna Odell.
Yeah, but Odell was lining up all over the place. Jalen Ramsey lined on one side of the field.
Yeah, that's the
No,
Sherman
they
effect.
showed a stat where I think like Odell had like 5 receptions for like 80 yards on Jalen Ramsey. I think he had a touchdown on him too.
Yes, he did. But it's also like Jalen doesn't cover the whole field, which is ridiculous.
Jalen Ramsey's not like he's not like, I wouldn't really consider him like a shutdown corner where you put him on one side of the field and that's it. Like,
Well, that's all they
just
do
a
is
really
play
good-
him on one side of the field.
Huh?
They only play him on one side of the field. He's
He
like
plays
Sherman.
one side.
yeah.
Who plays the other?
Or you just put him on, you put him on your best receiver and that just eliminates him. I don't think he's that type of corner.
Well, do we know? Because he doesn't do it.
I mean, we were saying the same thing about Sherman.
I still say that about Sherman.
We were saying, huh?
I've always said that about Sherman.
Yeah, and we have to wait to see about Ramsey.
Because Revis was everywhere.
Then that's what I'm talking-
Patrick Peterson's everywhere. Joe
that's what I'm
Hayden, when he
saying.
was at the top of his game, was everywhere.
That's what I'm saying. Like you don't see it. You don't really see it that often where you have like a true shutdown corner where you just put him on your best guy and it just takes him away from the
Talib,
game.
everywhere.
yeah.
Talib was
Most of the
everywhere.
Shutdown corners, mostly sometimes throughout the history of NFL, they only play one side.
Yeah, very few of them actually want to go and cover everyone. They just want to neutralize the side of the field and make you throw away from
Yeah.
them.
You
Revis
got
do that or
one-
no?
Revis was
Take away
everywhere.
one side of the field, and
Revis in prime time.
once one side of the field's gone, then where are you going to go?
Revis would line up on Wes Welker, would line up on Gronk. He was
Yeah, he'll line
everywhere.
up he'll line up on the slot. He'll line up outside. He just knew every receiver and he knew their tendencies. I don't think Jalen Ramsey's that
Good.
there yet. Yeah, I don't think
he's not there yet, but he's got the size, he's
Revis
got
in
the
his second
speed.
year is better than Ramsey in his second year.
By far. But, like, that's not even me being biased. That's me just like,
No, that's just you knowing
Revis was
football.
playing real well. His rookie year, he had an A year, but he also was playing behind Ty Law for a little bit his rookie year.
And Jalen Ramsey didn't really have a great rookie year either.
No, he also he had to figure everything out on his own. I think what helped Revis a lot was having the veterans around him. But then once Ty Law was gone, because Ty Law we only had him for half the season, he figured his shit out and was able to understand the game and what his bread and butter was. And that was being physical at the line of scrimmage and neutralizing tendencies. That's what he did very, very well. I don't think there's really a corner in the league that did that since then that did that well. I think Sherman used his size
Yeah.
for the most part and had the safeties over the top to help him out. And then when someone got over the field, he also had Wagner in the middle too, so he was always protected.
I don't know if Alfredo will ever have the great feeling of ever watching a Seahawks game 5 years ago and seeing Sherman get burnt. At least
I
like
think
one
I watched.
play.
You talking about me?
Yeah.
I think I watched that game.
Which one? There's a few because
There's a few.
there was like when Sherman was in his prime, Demarius Thomas handled him some. Odell, Dez.
Because I think that was the year
Oh,
like
it
everybody's
was
like,
so
oh, he's
great.
slacking off, he's losing his touch.
No, that was like right in his prime.
Then he came out, and then he shut down Antonio Brown.
Sometimes you match up better with other receivers
Right.
because he clearly did.
Malcolm
If you could
Butler
shut
is
down, if
good
Dez
at
Bryant's
that.
eating you, I guess apparently you could shut down AB. Like
That was the year fucking Des Bryant went nuts.
yeah, Dez gave him a fucking run for his money. Demarius Thomas was giving him runs for his money. That was a rough year for Sherman, but Sherman
Oh, yeah.
is a solid corner. It's just like
Nothing was
he
great
couldn't
with
couldn't
Sherman.
cover like the great corners could. He's one of the best cover 3 corners of all time, but he couldn't match up everywhere. He had the personnel around him where Revis didn't.
Right.
The best player Revis played with was Cromartie and Bart Scott. He didn't really have safety help.
Yeah.
We had Jim Leonard. That's fucking it.
He didn't have safety help until he went to the Bucks. Because
Even
they
still-
got, who was it? Deshaun Goldson, I think.
Yeah, But even still, that Bucks team didn't use Revis right. They made him his own corner.
And then he had more. He had safety help when he went to
the Patriots. Yeah,
And
he also and then he also had a homeboy on the other side of him. Was it Browner? Or was that still Talib?
It was Browner.
It was Browner because Talib went to the
Broncos.
Broncos.
Denver.
So it was Revis, Browner, Logan Ryan, who's he wasn't that bad either.
No, he was a good nickel.
Yeah, he was a good nickel. Yeah.
So like he had help in the latter end of his career, but not in the beginning when he was like prime time when he was shut down. But it is what it is.
He was doing that shit too because when they faced the Lions that year, he really took Calvin Johnson out. Still, I was like, damn.
Which is one of my favorite things to tell people that Calvin got shut down because I love Calvin. Le'Veon Bell coming back week 8.
Yeah, week 7 he'll be coming back to the facility, but that's their bye week, so it makes no sense to me because he just posted. You just saw what happened to Earl Thomas. Why are you coming back?
Why are you coming back?
So he don't get hurt, and Pittsburgh will probably be out of it by then.
Like, there's no point. Like, you haven't signed your franchise tender, and you just saw Earl's not getting signed.
Real quick, what's the deal with Earl? Like, does he not like the Seahawks, or like what happened?
He was trying. He sat out.
Trying to get paid. He's trying to get the last year of his contract. He's trying to get a contract. They didn't want to give him one, so he's like, trade me. They wouldn't trade him.
And he was playing way above what he was getting.
Yeah,
paid.
and the thing is, you hold out because of situations like this. You get more guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Guess how much money he's going to be making now? Significantly less because he now only gets the guaranteed money. He doesn't get the full contract like NBA players get.
He held out, came back to the team, balling, and then he gets hurt.
Didn't get his contract.
Yeah, because he signed one of the richest deals for a safety a few years ago. But I think the thing with like agents now and what they're doing now is they're trying to anticipate what the market's going to be for the next few years. That's why Aaron Rodgers signed that monster deal. I think which could total over like $180 million. Is because the market's going to be set that way in about a year or two. And Aaron Rodgers isn't going to hold out anymore in his career. He's got that contract already. And I think that's what they should do for other positions, too. That's what Todd Gurley got. Todd Gurley got an above-market deal for a running back.
Well, he created the market.
Yeah. And that's what it's going to be for the next few years, at least for a premier running back.
Because then it's like
what Zeke's going to get. That's
what everyone else is getting. Because Zeke's now going to get a deal on par with Todd Gurley, if not more.
Yeah.
And then it'll be the same thing with.
But do you think that depends
pay
what Zeke does this year?
No.
No.
Zeke will get it.
name?
His value. No, his value to the team. You get paid what the team values you at.
He's leading the league in rushing last year before he got suspended.
Yeah. The team will pay you. If the team values you, you'll get your money.
Okay.
Zeke is valued.
But he lost 6 games, still had over 1,000 all-purpose yards.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
What's the difference between all-purpose and just yards?
So it's just
All-purpose
rushing,
is receiving yards and rushing
rushing.
yards
Okay.
combined.
I get it. Okay.
yes. So it's everything you've done on the football field with the ball, whether you caught the ball or ran it with out of the backfield.
Yeah.
So I think Le'Veon Bell is stupid for this.
He's stupid for coming back for sure because Pittsburgh's not even viewed as a top AFC team.
He's
right now.
created his value by sitting out, by watching this team suffer. He's literally devaluing anything he's done by saying, fuck it, I'll come back.
Right.
This is not me being
So
like,
you think he should just continue sitting out?
yeah, make them pay you. Make them pay you. Make them see
And
that
team
they're
could be
fucking
really-
up.
Sitting out, yeah.
Yes.
That team is.
But how's Connor?
Oh,
Really
he
good.
comes
Week
back.
one thing.
If he comes, he's been trash.
I remember week 1, the homeboy with the crazy hair did well. How's he doing now?
He's all right. He's not Le'Veon Bell. He's nowhere
Yeah.
near the talent as
James
Le'Veon
Conner.
Bell. James
Yeah,
Conner's
no.
playing solid, but
He
he
had
doesn't
100
bring the receiving aspect. He doesn't bring the blocking aspect. And he's a good runner, but he's not as smart of a runner as Le'Veon is.
Yeah.
He had 120 rushing yards that first week, and then for the past 3 weeks, he's only had about 80.
Okay.
Yeah,
Combined.
he's a good running back, but he's not Le'Veon Bell.
Can you imagine this offense with Le'Veon and then Juju Smith-Schuster coming into what he's doing right now? He's having a breakout season.
Le'Veon coming back. The Steelers should be out of the playoff mix, so he's got to get the audition. Like, you didn't play last year. How'd you keep in shape?
Yep.
So,
And if they try to
this
run,
is auditioning. That's why he come back at week 8.
and if they try to give him 30, 40 touches a game, he's gonna be like, nope. Why would I?
Yeah.
Why am I gonna
run
take
it? They were going
I'm
to
out.
run his ass into the ground.
Oh, yeah. And just be like, I'm out.
They're just going to run his stock to the ground?
Oh, yeah, they're going to run him. They're going to pass it to him. And you know what happens? He gets hurt. You come back week 8. Here's your audition. Because if they franchise his ass again, which they ain't going to do, it's going to
doubt
cost
it.
him a lot of money.
I think they'd still do it. I still think they franchise him because they don't have too many guys that they have to sign.
Can you reject
Not
the
3
franchise
years
tag?
in a row. Yes.
3 years in a row is going to cost you a lot of money.
Yeah, not for a third year in a
You
row.
don't-
That's why Kirk Cousins is in
Right.
Minnesota.
Wait, so can you reject a franchise tag?
Yes, then he'd become a free
Okay.
agent.
Oh, okay.
If they
You
rescind
can't-
it, he'll become a free
If
agent.
they rescind it,
If
but
they
Le'Veon
rescind, you
Bell
could say
can't be
no.
like,
I'm
I
not
don't
going to
want
sign it.
All right, so say for example, like if I'm on an NFL team, whatever, and it'd be like, oh, we're gonna franchise tag you. Can I say no?
Yeah, and then you end up in this
Le'Veon did,
situation.
but no.
I think they should
okay.
make a. I think
So the no is basically sitting out.
yeah.
Yeah, you're not signing a franchise tender.
And when they find you, they just find you whatever you're going to make.
You're gonna make on the
franchise
tender.
tag, so
Yeah.
You're not profiting off of it.
You're just not making that check.
I think on the next CBA, they should make a rule where you cannot franchise a guy past that first year. I don't think you should be able to because you're just ruining a guy's like money at that point. Because say they franchise him this year and he played on it, and then he gets hurt and it's like a career-ending injury, you mess with his money.
They've been
And,
trying to do that the past 2 fucking CBAs. It's not been working.
yeah,
Yeah, they-
well,
So it's
the
a
You
league.
should definitely do it.
So it's a franchise tag similar to the restricted free agent NBA, where where like after you sign your 2 qualifying extensions, the 4th year is your restricted free agent.
No,
No.
it's
No,
completely different.
franchise is just a 1-year deal.
It's a 1-year
It's just a
deal.
1-year deal.
Okay.
And then it's like the market. I think it's like they total it out to like the market value for the position, the highest market value. So like running like Laveon Bell's is like $14 million right now. If he gets it again, I think it's like a 20% increase.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it goes up to about like $20 million for next year. So it just doubles. It just
Makes
adds on.
sense. Okay.
So you can't
That's
just
why they
franchise him
want
for
franchise
$14 million
with
every year.
So you think he could make more guaranteed not being franchised?
Oh yeah, you can definitely do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because right now he's only guaranteed $14 million. If he signed a deal with somebody else, he's guaranteed like $40 million.
I see. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he's losing money if he gets hurt.
Makes sense.
Earl Thomas, they said, I think they were asking Shannon Sharp, how much money did he lose? He just lost himself a cool $30 million.
Easily,
Yep.
easily,
Because
and
he's
it
going to pay
sucks.
$8 million for this year, but he could have signed a deal with the Cowboys with $30 million guaranteed, or $35. Even at his age, he's still the top safety, one of the top safeties in the league.
Still top 5 safety,
He's only 29. He'll
Yeah.
be 30
Yeah, he's
next
29.
year.
Yeah.
and he's at a position where he's gonna have a long career still.
Yeah, the
So,
DBs
so
the
cornerbacks
longest.
have long careers.
DBs overall have the longest.
Because worst case scenario
Especially
is if
at
you
safety.
suck at corner, you just move to safety,
Especially
like
at
Charles
safety,
Woodson did.
Because when he loses speed, he's still going to be hitting hard. He's going to be
So-
like Ed Reed. Ed
Or
Reed.
yeah,
So I have a
Rod Woodson was a corner, moved to safety. Charles Woodson, corner, moved to safety.
But yeah, and then if you look at Earl Thomas, he played safety his whole career. If you look at Ed Reed played how many years? What?
Whole career.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like.
Was
how
he
many
drafted
years
in
did he play?
02?
Like 13, 14.
he was drafted 02,
Huh?
Ed-
02, and then he retired in 14.
14,
Right?
so 12 years.
Right.
He was a Jet.
All right, now, so I have a question for non-football people like me, because I remember like they said that average span for NFL players like between 5 to 8 years. So per position, which position has the most longevity besides a quarterback?
Defensive back.
DBs.
Defensive backs.
Yeah, they're not in the trenches getting hit all the goddamn time.
Now it feels like a lot more pass rushers are kind of lasting. It feels like in today's like you saw
really
James Harrison, you saw a couple years ago with
Suggs,
Suggs
Freeney,
still.
Dwight Freeney. Yeah, Suggs. Yeah.
Julius Peppers.
Yep. You see a lot more pass rushers where now, like, you look at Clay Matthews and you're like, oh, he's 32, but you're like, you can still play another 3 years at what he's playing at.
Yeah,
right
he'll
now.
I
easily-
remember a lot of you got Darryl Green,
Yep.
played forever. Champ Bailey.
So are
No, I'm just talking about, like, recent trends when you're looking at pass rushers. But, yeah, defensive backs.
Defensive backs is
But then
historically there.
the lowest lifespan is running backs.
back.
That's why Le'Veon Bell wants that deal, is because they don't last.
Once you
as
hit
long.
28, you're not productive.
Once he hits 30, no one wants to spend money.
You
on
get
running
one
back
big
till 30.
contract. You get one big contract.
you
that's
get your
it.
rookie contract and a big contract and that's it?
Yep.
Yep, for
You get
running
that one
backs,
big
'cause-
contract, and then by the time your second deal is up, you're 30.
I mean, it's very rare that running backs stay long 28, i.e.
Adrian Peterson.
It's one of those
Yeah.
freak instances where that motherfucker's gonna be playing until he's like
So it's, like, very
35, but nobody's gonna want him because of his contract. He's gonna want big money because he's AP.
Still not the same as he was.
No, but he's still a freak. He's still a freak, but nobody's gonna want him. You don't want. Why do you want to sign production decline? You don't.
Right.
You never want to do that. It's
It
like
feels,
Look,
yeah, it feels like the
look at Frank Gore. He's
yeah.
fucking,
Frank, I was just about to say that.
Then Frank Gore, which old
Still one of the
run-
most productive backs in the
which
league.
running back that was on that Florida football team just got third all time in rushing yards like two weeks ago?
Frank Gore.
Fourth
Frank
is
Gore.
Frank Gore. He's
Frank Gore.
fourth. He's not
He's
third.
past Curtis Martin.
But if you look at these like gadget running backs, like Frank Gore, Frank Gore is also like,
A
he
running
catch
back,
out of
running
the
back,
backfield
yeah.
and he can
Frank
run.
was a beast.
And Matt Forte, like those guys have long careers
Speaking
at the
of
running back
Forte,
position.
I remember one time I was playing Madden with Dylan, and he ran the ball with Matt Forte. He goes, I guess you can say that's Forte.
I guess you can say that's real gay.
Yeah.
Insensitive.
But when you look at but when you look at those type of running backs, and even like LaDainian Tomlinson,
Forte didn't last a long time. Look at that.
Forte got drafted the same year as LaShawn McCoy.
And where's he at now?
Retired.
Where's McCoy?
Hurt.
McCoy's in Buffalo, hurt.
How long
I think
did-
Matt Forte could have played a little bit longer too. I think he just retired on his own terms because he was still getting some production.
Yeah, but he came in the league a little older.
Yeah,
So he came in the league a little older than most running backs do because he
even on those shitty Chicago teams, it's actually pretty crazy how he lasted.
still the guy.
Yeah.
Still, well, he's a big back and caught the ball real well for a big back.
Catch the ball.
If you catch the ball, your career could stay,
I
man.
think that's why a lot of running backs turn into wide receivers.
No,
Running backs to wide receiver.
that doesn't
But
happen
I
often.
think quarterbacks go to wide receivers more, which is weird to me. But I don't know.
Corner?
No, quarter.
Well, now because every quarterback in college could run, so
I mean,
you can't.
just like Irv.
In the NFL, I can only think of Julian Edelman, quarterback to wide receiver.
Braxton
No,
Miller,
Braxton-
Terrell Pryor,
Yeah, Hines Ward, Braxton Miller, right?
Braxton Miller, Brad Smith.
A bunch you can go
and
on.
There's a bunch.
But like good wide receivers.
I
Hines
mean,
Ward.
Terrell Pryor went quarterback to wide receiver.
But also a size thing. You can't have a quarterback go to running back because they're usually too damn big.
well, Terrell Pryor played quarterback in the NFL. Like he didn't just switch in
No,
college.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he played quarterback in the Raiders.
Right.
Now he's a wideout. But I see like some like running backs, like Irv. He was a running back and wasn't even high.
Well, he has size.
Well, in Syracuse, his first year.
He's not on
freshman year,
anybody's
he played
roster,
running
is he?
back,
No.
And then he went to play wide receiver for Syracuse.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a
he was
better
running
fit
back.
for him to be a wide receiver because he's like 6'1", dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's sized for a wide receiver.
yeah.
Like he was built, but like he's still pretty slender.
Yeah,
Put him at
slender
wide
for a
receiver.
running back,
I
yeah.
was on
Shout out to Irv, yeah, by the way.
I was on the JV team and he was on the varsity team and we were doing these running back drills for spring training and I'm like holding onto the ball and he's right behind he's like literally right behind me. So I'm about to go through like these like running back drills and then right before I run he hits the ball out of my hand and he's like, hold on to the rock, kid, and I was like, fuck this dude. He was in my math class too.
Hold on to the rocker. You're gonna be walking around school with it.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to play football with Irv, but I played basketball against him and I busted his ass.
There was one time where like I
His
was lined
brother
up
was
at
butt
corner
Yeah,
and he was
absolutely.
at running back and then he like went out and split out wide.
And then you ran out of bounds because you didn't want to get hit.
No, and then I was following him up on the route, and then he just mossed me. I was like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, I don't want to play this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore.
Nah,
But then-
I played with some big ass dudes when I was playing for Seymour High.
yeah, but Urban is probably the best player.
He's probably the most talented player
Probably the most
offensively
talented
to come
player
out of
they've
that.
had.
But who's the quarterback that took over? Tremaine? took
Tremaine?
over?
Yes.
But he was pretty solid as a quarterback, right?
Yeah, but he lost his job to Nick.
Oh yeah, I remember. I heard
Yeah.
about Nick. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never met him.
I played with Nick.
Yeah,
yeah,
I heard Nick was pretty good.
Very good.
I used to be on the sidelines watching Urban play, and I'd be like, oh, my God, this is...
Yeah.
this
I was in
could
the
be-
stands with the band watching Irv play, and I was like, oh,
All-
shit, dude.
I still think to this
what
day,
year
like...
did Irv graduate high school?
He was 2
20
years younger than me, 2014.
Oh, so he
yeah.
was a freshman when I was a senior. Okay.
Yeah.
Because when I was a freshman, he was in his junior year, and then when I was a sophomore, he was a senior.
Okay,
Fun fact, my brother played football against Antonio Cromartie in high school.
that's dope.
It's one of my favorite stories he tells me. He also, fun fact, also had Lamar Jackson play NCAA football on his couch as a young boy.
That's dope. We don't have no celebrities in Connecticut, so it's okay.
I didn't even
or
know
West Haven
that.
at
He
least.
didn't even know he had Lamar Jackson on his couch
know
playing
that.
NCAA until
I didn't know.
a family friend was like, hey, you remember LJ? He's like, yeah, I remember LJ. He's like, you know that's Lamar Jackson? He's like, what?
That's how you
And then he's like, Lamar Jackson playing on the couch.
He's like what? He's like, dude, he slept on the fucking couch. I'm like, what?
Shit.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why he plays with him in Madden?
No.
mine-
No, Steven just
No,
likes
that's
black
not why.
quarterbacks.
Oh wow, it's come full circle.
It's full
It's
circle.
come full circle.
It's subconscious. Steven had a future black quarterback sleeping on his couch, and now it's just he loves him.
Yep.
Also found out what's his face? Yeah, Brissett went to college or went to school down there too.
Really?
And that family friend knew of him as well. Like a lot of these players are coming out of South Florida. A lot of these
That's my
players
favorite.
come out of South Florida,
I mean,
man.
they out here chasing bunny rabbits and shit.
Yeah.
You know what's my favorite story? Have you ever heard that story from Eric Casasola?
No.
Where he was going home and and his mom called him and was like, Nate's here. And he was like, who's Nate? And he like goes to like his fucking house, and I think Nate Diaz was there.
What?
Yeah. Or it was like I think it was Nate Diaz because he was like,
With the MMA fighter?
yeah, the
Yeah.
MMA
Well,
fighter.
what the thing is about Hamden, West Haven, and part of New Haven, there's a lot of MMA fighters in the city, like a shit.
Yeah,
like
so-
in Hampton High, there's this kid named Joe Miskalinsky. Dude's a fucking problem.
Shout out Joe Miskalinsky.
Hector Del Rio's pretty good. Kevin McCormick, even though I fucking hate him. And we got some boxers too. Damn, I don't think you were in high. No, he graduated.
Will Foster?
No, he's a Puerto
He's a
Rican
professional boxer as well.
Yeah, Foster, yeah,
Charles
Foster.
Foster, Will Foster.
Yeah, he's like
My
a
sister
junior.
is very good friends with Charles, and I'm good friends with Charles, and I
And then
know
we
Will.
have Louis Ko, who just died recently.
Yes.
Rest in peace. We got a lot of fun.
GSP used to hang out in New Haven at one of the Gracie gyms because a good friend of mine, Yusuf, trained over there.
Right.
There's a
Everyone over
Gracie
there.
gym on the Boston Post Road, right?
There's a Gracie gym on Campbell Ave.
Yeah.
I just say the only thing that's good out of Connecticut are fighters. So
Yeah,
it's
but
like- even
close
though
that-
none are in
Close out your story, please,
yeah,
Hunter.
to close out that story, my favorite thing from Eric was Eric just looks at him and goes, "That's fucking Nate Diaz." That's Nate Diaz, mom.
Did I ever tell you guys the story about how I met C.O. Moore at work?
Oh,
C.O. Moore, oh my God, it was fucking great. So NFL middle linebacker C.O. Moore is from West Haven, and he was drafted.
I thought it was Jackson.
No, so Rob Jackson, also from West Haven, but C.O. Moore,
His wife is hot though. Anyway,
his wife was my teacher. She had a big butt. C.O. Moore
Redhead too.
went to high school, graduated a couple years before I got in, was drafted by the Raiders, all that stuff, still lives in Connecticut in the off-season with his family. He comes into my job wearing a Dipset hat and a big puffy green jacket. Homeboy looks like he's about to steal everything. And it's during a snowstorm. And I get a call on the walkie. They're like, hey, yo, keep an eye on this dude. He looks sketchy. I'm like, all right, cool. So he's over in the gaming section. I'm walking over there. I'm like, what's up, man? You need help with anything? He's like, nah, bro, I'm good. He's on the phone, like being super sketchy. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, that fucking nose. That nose looks so familiar. And he's turning around and keep peeping me. And I'm sitting there with the squinty eyes, like skeptical hippo eyes. I'm just like, I know you. I literally know you. And then I told him, I was like, hey, come on, man, I'll ring you out. What's your phone number? He gives me a phone number. It's an Indianapolis phone number. At the time, he was playing on the Colts. And it said C.O. Moore. I looked at him like, you motherfucker.
Is he still in the league?
He's still in the league, yes.
What team is
I think he's on the Cardinals right now.
Yeah, I think he is too. I'll look that up.
He looks, after I give him this squinty-eyed look, he's on the phone. He was like, I'm going to call you right back. I looked at him. I was like, you're NFL C.O. Moore, huh? And he goes, what's up, baby? How you doing? He gives me a dap and a hug. Brick shithouse. I've never hugged a man that hard, pause, in my life. It's literally like if you were going to hug a brick wall. That dude was a fucking brick shithouse. And I've met like Lorenzo Malden and like linebackers from the Jets and shit. So like,
I don't see him on the Cardinals.
okay, then he may not be on the roster. Just type in C.O. Moore on Google and see what it says. C.O. Simomoore. And he literally was just buying Madden and FIFA and a bunch of controllers because he was like, yo, me and my boys are just trying to chill out in the snowstorm. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. Like, I'm pretty sure you hear this, but I actually am a fan of you. I was like, you went to my high school and all that stuff. And he was like, oh, that's
He
awesome.
went to high school in Apex, North Carolina.
He was in Connecticut. Which is a lie because he actually went and played in West Haven High.
Yeah, the only
Well, I know how.
This is what he says. He was born in Liberia, West Africa, moved to West Haven, Connecticut, where he was a child, attended Apex High School in Apex, North Carolina, where he lettered in freshman in track.
Yeah, he actually played.
Wikipedia's not always
I know
right.
this because we played football against him when he was like in high school. and he would play with me, Mark Cowan, and all those guys, and he would hit motherfuckers like an asshole. So I know that for a fact.
So technically, what year did you graduate high school?
Couple years before I got there, so I think anywhere from 05 to 07.
Okay, I was a freshman.
Yeah. But he was gone by then.
Yeah, the only NFL player I met was Rob Jackson.
I met Rob Jackson a few times.
That's when he was on that Redskins team.
Yeah.
I met his wife.
And he funded the uniforms for West Ham High, correct?
Yeah, I went to
after I left.
I got a funny story. We were doing weightlifting, and from freshman year to sophomore year, so freshman year I was 92 pounds, and then going to sophomore year I gained 30 pounds.
Before you continue the story, Hunter literally is if you open up a box of thin spaghetti, that's what Hunter looks like.
Yeah, so freshman year I was 90, I think I was like 95, like 92, 95 pounds, and we're doing weightlifting, and Rob Jackson comes in, and I'm like, I'm about to shit my pants, so he's like, all right, everybody stop doing what you're doing, let's gather around, and he's giving us this big motivational speech. My dumbass has Mr. Blue Sky playing in my earphones up on like max volume because I was doing weightlifting. And he's like, who the fuck is playing music right now? And I started turning my thing down, and he's like, turn off that fucking music. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get yelled at by Rob Jackson.
That's great.
You're the worst. You're the biggest pussy on the planet.
I didn't want to get
If you don't know this, right?
Suspended for PEDs like that season. I don't want to get my ass beat.
Hunter is red like a tomato right now. He's still scared of Rob Jackson.
If he listens to this, I still don't want to get. I love you, Rob Jackson. Don't worry about it.
I never met anybody famous.
I've met a few people. I meet people because I go to. I
saw Ray Allen in Milford.
Ray Allen shops at my store.
I saw him in Milford 2 weeks ago.
Ray Allen shops at my store because it's close to his house.
A lot of famous people. Shout out Chico. He was on our earlier podcast. He lives in Orlando, Florida. So he gets a couple NBA players going.
He just met Mozgov a week ago.
The last year, Vucevic was there.
Yeah, he also met soccer player Kaká over down there as well. Like, he just meets people.
Wow.
All the time. His
job doesn't care either.
Yeah, he ran into Andre Drummond in the Meriden Mall a few years back.
Oh, wow.
Because Andre Drummond lived over here. So he literally runs into people all the time. He always runs into he ran into Braun Strowman and Neville at a LA Fitness. And he was like, "What?" He was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Then he saw fucking Luke Harper and Eric Rowan walk out of the sauna. He's like, "What is going on?"
Like, I've only played against semi-professional players in LA Fitness. Like,
yeah, nobody who's ever gone to be anything.
Yeah, like I played a pickup game with Ryan Gomes once, and I played.
Yeah, he's from
Waterbury.
Waterbury, yes.
And I've played a few pickup games with like players who played in Connecticut, but they're like international basketball players and stuff.
My aunt lives in South Carolina, and she lives like right on the border between South Carolina and North Carolina. And one time she was in a bank, and she was walking out, and some guy opened up the door for her, and my uncle was like, holy shit, that's Luke Kuechly. And he goes in and he's like, let me get your picture. My aunt's like, no, that's not, because my aunt doesn't know too much about football, but my uncle does. And she was like, why are we going to go up to this random dude? And he goes up to him, and like, there's like a picture on Facebook of like my aunt and my uncle with Luke Kuechly, and my aunt's like, she's like, this isn't Luke Kuechly. Like, she doesn't know who the fuck he is. And my uncle was like, sure thing. He's like smiling like it's like the best fucking day of his life. That Luke Kuechly just opened up a door at a bank. Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
That's hilarious.
Do I have any other story I want to tell? No, I haven't really met anybody else.
How about you, Steve? You met anybody famous or played against any besides Clamar?
He has a picture with Ron Jeremy on his Instagram.
Ron Jeremy's probably the most famous person I've met.
Oh, God.
I met Buster Screen at one of the Jets draft day parties. He's a shithead.
After this,
I met Cody Rhodes. That's about it.
After this podcast blows up, then Brandon's going to be the most famous person you know.
Yeah, I met Buster Screen at the Jets draft party, and he refused to talk to me until he ate his chicken tenders. So fuck that guy.
Have you seen that Tom Segura special where he talked about his friend meeting Pac-Man Jones?
Yes.
That shit is the funniest story.
Wait for me. I'm sorry? Wait for me. Are you saying where am I from originally? Yeah, I'm from Russia. Yeah. I'm from you too.
My dad's
Are you speaking to me like a person right now? I fucking love Tom Segura. If you haven't watched Tom Segura's special on Netflix, please go watch it. He's one of my favorite people in the world, and his podcast, Your Mom's House, is fucking hysterical too.
And then Bill Burr.
Bill Burr's great, but Burt Kreisler is my favorite as well. Let's get into picks. We've been going on a long time about famous people. So as of right now, Steven is still ahead in the posting. He's now up 2 games.
My record had a game.
Because I picked the Bills. If I just picked the Packers, he'd only be up 1 game. But there's apparently, for me, I'm doing this thing where I have to pick one shitty team a week. One shitty team a week to maybe get a win and steal the Lone Ranger. But as of right now, Steven's in first place with 32, 29, and 2. I'm in second place. Nope. I am 30, 31, and 2. Hunter is 26, 34, and 2.
Well, not that far.
And Fredo gaining up on Hunter, 24, 36, and 2.
Oh, that's what I really want. I want to see fucking Fredo pass Hunter in the picks.
I also want to...
And just shit on Hunter.
Hunter, I cannot wait for the day for Fredo to legitimately pass you.
I can't wait for him to pass me.
And you know what? It's going to happen because the pressure's on.
You know what? You guys should pick opposite of each other this week. Perfect.
The reason why I think Fredo's going to catch up is because Hunter has so far gotten a field goal returned on him, a squib kick returned on him. The only thing worse that could happen would be is if Fredo returned this on him. All right, so let's start off Indiana at New England. We just had that game, and shocker, I Lone Rangered and lost. So apparently I'm the weak link for now. But now that one's out of the way, Denver at New York Jets. I'm going with the Jets.
I'm going to go with Denver.
Denver.
Jets.
Hey, this is one of those games where it's like the Denver offense is so fucking bad, dude. Their defense is going to keep them, but our defense are not slouches either. So we'll be able to keep Case Keenum.
That's why I think Keenum is going to fuck it up.
Yeah, Keenum's going to fuck it up. Darnold will have a solid day. He's going to hit a bunch, but he's going to have a solid day. Like, even last week against Jacksonville, he didn't have a bad game. It was just a lot of it was his receivers were dropping the ball. Robbie Anderson needs to fucking go, by the way. I'm so sick of that motherfucker. Robbie Anderson can catch, right? That's the problem. He's just not trying to catch the ball. There's a lot of plays where he's open on flags and slants and drags, and he's just not going for the ball. Can you get all the way the fuck out of here, Robbie Anderson? Jesus Christ. And before I forget, Hunter just Lone Rangered.
No, I picked Denver.
No.
Nope, never mind. I didn't. I forgot Fredo was a thing. I failed. Green Bay Packers at Detroit Lions.
I don't got an answer.
Fredo picks the Lions. Hunter?
Not really.
Packers. Steven?
Lions.
Ooh.
You're going to go with that curse? Okay. Lions got that bad juju.
Steven is the Lone Ranger. New York Giants at Carolina. I'm going Carolina. I want no part of this Giants team.
Carolina.
Sweet Carolina. Bum, bum, bum. Who are we picking next, Tennessee or Buffalo?
That's hard for me.
No, the fuck it's not. Tennessee.
I'll go with Tennessee.
Because you is the only 10 I see.
Tennessee.
Hey. Clean sweep. Atlanta at Pittsburgh. Dirty Birds for me.
They're both in a rut.
But
you can Steelers. I'll just take Steelers.
Really, taking Pitt.
Taking Pittsburgh.
I'm going to go Atlanta.
I'm going to go Pittsburgh, too.
Ooh, a split. This is a smart pick for you, Hunter. That way, Fredo can't take the lead on you. I like your tactics.
That's right.
Baltimore at Cleveland. I'm taking Baltimore.
Cleveland and Baltimore?
Yep. Seeing how they just lost to the Raiders.
Give me the Brownies.
Ooh, you like picking the Browns.
Yeah,
I don't think you've ever not picked the Browns.
Yeah, no once. I
Nope.
thought week 2, really?
Fredo's picking Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm picking old Cleveland. Give me the Ravens.
The Ravens.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Ravens too.
Well,
I'm okay with that.
Fredo.
But fuck if he gets this Lone Ranger on me.
Oh, if he gets this Lone Ranger for Hunter, I can't wait to see the look on your face.
Well, then he would be one game up.
Miami at Cincinnati. I'm going with the Bengals.
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 They're actually playing really. I just want to know how they're gonna bounce back after Alfred went down. with
Well,
everything.
Joe
I'm
Mixon.
trying to figure out how Hunter's gonna bounce back from getting this Andy Dalton tattoo that he owes us.
Yes, he does.
He has to get right
Pull
on
up.
the booty.
Get the tattoo, coward.
Get the tattoo, coward.
I will take
Post
that
it on
one.
Twitter, coward.
You
To the
did.
grave.
The best thing is Hunter deleted it as soon as it happened, but luckily for Twitter, it's a deleted tweet showed up my timeline. So now and forever is it in my permanent photo album. So whenever Hunter wants to be a shithead, I'm gonna just pull out the Andy Dalton tattoo.
I hate my life.
So between
At least I didn't bet getting fucked in the ass.
Steven, what if we both got in the same day a video of Brandon getting fucked in his ass by a black guy and a picture of Hunter with the Andy Dalton tattoo?
Oh god.
It would be the best day of my life.
Would it be weird if we both had smiles on our faces?
That would be really weird. That would be really weird.
For the listeners at home, I'm
Sorry.
smiling ear to ear.
I'm sweating.
Oh, man.
I'm not.
Well, you're a pussy. Jacksonville, Kansas City.
Jags.
I'm taking Pat Mahomes.
I like that defense too much.
And I like Pat Mahomes that much.
Even though it sounds like this, whatever.
And I like Jacksonville's defense that much.
Yeah, my thing is, can Kansas City's defense even stop Blake Bortles?
But
and it sucks to even say that.
It sucks, but Blake Bortles is playing phenomenal, dude.
But
He had 388 yards last week.
yeah, but
Against a good defense.
the Jags defense can't stop Pat Mahomes, so I'm gonna go with the Jags.
So you're Lone Ranger.
I'm Lone Rangering. Just last week I just saw a video of.
Oh God, I saw that pep talk. I never want to hear his voice again.
I just saw a video
After that
Pat
pregame
Mahomes
huddle.
throwing a.
Pat Mahomes' voice is a mix between Seth Rogen.
It's like lay it on the line
and
for your
Kermit
brothers
the Frog.
next to you.
Because he has a
I was like, all right, Kermit.
in his voice.
Hey, Kermit the Frog here. Pat Mahomes just got done throwing a ball 90 yards from the goal line last week, right before pregame. So,
Oh wait, quick side thing, Steven, we were having this discussion watching this game. Totally healthy players. Who would you pick? Carson Wentz, Andrew Luck, or Pat Mahomes? All of them are healthy. You get to have them for the next 5 years.
Andrew Luck.
Andrew
yeah,
Luck.
I think we all said Andrew Luck, right?
Yep, we got that.
Yeah,
both
we all said Andrew Luck. Oklahoma, wow. Go Sooners.
Whoa.
Oakland Raiders versus Los Angeles Chargers.
Give me LA.
Give me them
they're both
Chargers.
Chargers.
Well, no, the Raiders are Oakland.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to Vegas.
It's the Raiders versus the Chargers.
I don't.
You pick
Why
the
am I
Raiders?
afraid to pick them?
Chargers.
Hey, the Chargers.
have a thing going for them. It's called their kicker will fuck it up or their coach. I'm still going with the fucking Chargers.
Yeah, man, they played like dog shit last week, but Phillip Rivers ended up winning. Not even in my heart, but on the field.
Yep.
Hunter, who you taking?
Chargers.
Chargers.
Sweet.
The San Diego Chargers.
Sweep. Minnesota at Philly.
Vikings.
This
I said
one's
San Diego on purpose.
a hard
It's
one.
hard.
Wait, which
but-
one?
Minnesota at Philly.
But that Minnesota defense is pretty good.
Philly.
I'm taking Philly too.
Philly.
I'm
Minnes-
not having deja vu.
I'm taking the team that throws the ball 73% of the time, which is the Minnesota Vikings.
Split it.
Yeah, I took Philly. Who took? Yeah, Hunter, you
took
took Philly,
Philly.
right? Yeah.
You took Minnesota?
Yeah.
Minnesota wants revenge. They got Kirk Cousins.
If you're a true Packers fan, you picked the Minnesota Vikings to lose.
Dun dun dun.
But I'm trying to beat you in the records.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
But you won't. Also, Dylan's trying to.
Do we want to put 5 Big Macs on that Hunter that Fredo won't beat you by the end of the year?
I don't want to put 5.
Ooh,
Big Macs on
can we? Ooh, that's a deal I want to take.
that. You can make that deal with somebody else.
Oh, are you not sure in your football knowledge, Hunter?
No.
Take the deal, coward.
No, I don't want that. I want. I
Make
want
the
those
deal,
$5
coward.
deals when Kyrie resigns.
Make the deal, coward.
No.
Oh, he's really scared.
He's real scared.
He really thinks Fredo might fucking pass him.
For some reason, I do.
If you were confident, you would take that.
We should hold up. What we should do is like
Here goes
write
a
our
bad
picks
idea.
on a piece of paper before everybody knows, so we're not like going off of somebody else's pick, and we have like our picks on a piece of
Bro,
paper.
we all work full-time jobs here. When do we have time for this?
When did we get time for Ryan Tannehill versus?
We haven't even had the time for Ryan Tannehill versus
He's not worth
We
the
did that
time.
1 week with candies or snacks.
with snacky cakes, but I go on vacation again, so I'll be able to get this boat rolling
Next week,
again.
Ryan Tannehill versus again.
Ryan Tannehill versus will be back. I guarantee it.
Yes.
Just like I guarantee this win for the Los Angeles Rams over the Seahawks.
Yeah, Rams. Yeah.
That was pretty easy.
Rams.
This next game you're about to say, I don't know why it's hard for me. But
This next game is the shittiest game of the year so far.
Oh my God! It's a battle of C.J. Beathard versus Josh Rosen. I'm going with Rosen.
Fuck, I'm gonna go to Rose.
Yeah.
They got Larry Fitzgerald, so hopefully.
They got Fitzy Poo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
Oh, I'm going to go with the 49ers.
Trying to get that lead. He trying to extend that lead.
It's rough.
This game is the most lose-lose game I've seen in a while.
No, can I change my pick to a tie?
Yes. Do you want that?
No.
Okay. Do you want to guarantee? Oh my God, Julian Edelman's out here in a Kyrie Irving jersey.
Does it count as a victory for me if I say tie and it's a tie?
No. It hurts you. You literally have a 1 in 3 chance of losing. A 2 in 3 chance of losing.
I'll stick with 49ers.
Battle of Texas. Cowboys at the Houston Texans. I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys. Because apparently the Houston Texans can't stop the run. Who knew?
Listen, I like to call this game the loser has a new coach on Monday, so I'm taking the Cowboys.
You know damn well they're not firing Garrett. Until Jason Garrett tells homeboy, no, it ain't happening. Hunter?
Everybody make their pick.
Nope, we're not going to make... No, Fredo's not making his pick until you make yours.
Fuck.
I kind of knew who I want, but
Don't say it.
I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Well, Fredo, looks like you were going to go with the Houston Texans, huh? All right, good
Give
move.
us a split.
Good move on Fredo's part. Matching with Hunter. And the last game of the week, the Washington Foreskins versus the New Orleans Saints.
The New Orleans Aints.
Well, Hunter, thank you for participating and being on this podcast. For the last few episodes, we're going to ask you to resign. I'm taking New Orleans in New Orleans.
I'm taking the Saints over the Washington racial slurs.
racial slurs.
Yep. Hunter,
I'm also gonna take the Saints.
you're also going to take the Saints. And Fredo,
Lone Ranger, coward.
you're going to take the Saints too? All right. A clean sweep for the New Orleans Saints. I think we've had a productive day today, guys. We had a lot of good conversations.
Even before the podcast, too. But yeah.
Did we? What did we talk? Fuck, what were we talking about before the podcast?
You know what?
Oh
I
my
gotta change
God.
your heart.
What? You can't do this.
Can I? No.
What do you wanna
the podcast
do?
has Not ended.
Okay. All right.
I'm going with the Cowboys. Get Fredo the Lone Ranger.
What?
Give him the Lone Ranger. I'm going with the Cowboys.
This is unheard of, ladies and gentlemen. He's cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Oh, wow. Going with the Cowboys. Wow. All right. I guess this is appropriate.
It's like The Voice where you hit the button after the song's over.
Jesus Christ. Drop the fucking MAGA bomb on us.
Yep. I had to.
Speaking of magnet,
Oh, God. Here we go.
no.
Anything you guys want to talk about before we go?
I'm good.
You're good? Hunter?
Yeah,
I feel like there was Oh yeah, I'm good.
Steven?
We are good.
We had a good?
We are good.
Oh, we are good. Oh, you're talking in a piss poor accent. Shout out to Lil Wayne. Carter 5's great.
Logic's album was pretty good
I'm
too.
still waiting for Yandi. I just want to know.
I haven't listened to Logic's album yet because I've been bumping the Carter 5.
Yeah, the
First
song
four
was
songs
pretty
of
good.
Carter 5 are trash, but it's okay.
Every white rapper sounds the same to me, so I'm not listening to Logic.
Good thing Logic is half black.
Yeah, good thing he's not white.
Still sounds white to me.
Don't worry. His internal conflict of whether he's white or black and how he's been treated differently really resonates with me.
It resonates with me as well.
Does he have the pass Logic or no?
I'm pretty sure he has the pass. In case you're wondering, Hunter's the nigga pass. Hunter has that pass. No, he doesn't. Don't say that.
I never catch it in.
He's got.
Yeah, you remember when you guys gave it to me for one every year?
We gave Hunter the pass for once every year. Hunter walks around with the briefcase that says the N-word on it. He's got a cash.
I haven't cashed in that money in the bank yet.
Ladies.
The N-word in the bank briefcase. We're having a conversation. He slaps it down. Then he just goes, "Nigga." Oh my god. Oh my god.
The only
It's
people
like those Money in the Bank matches where like somebody's fighting and they're like really hurt and then somebody cashes it in like right there on the table. I hit you at your low point and I just cashed it.
Listen, man, out of all my time, I've only like the group of white people always hung out. We only gave 2 white people the nigga pass.
I have the pass, but I'm also
boy.
not
I
a
have
white
the
man.
pass, too.
But I refuse to use it. So I'm glad Hunter's gonna use it someday. Hopefully he doesn't get.
Collecting the casing.
Hopefully
It's like overtime. It kind of collects.
yeah, but every year it refreshes, so you
does it?
you only have one. You don't accumulate it, so you can't have a conversation where you're just like.
I thought it was like sick time at work where I just get it like.
You just keep
We're rolling
accumulating.
over.
No, after a while, your PTO just goes away.
Yeah.
You just got to get a new one.
The
A
data
fresh
doesn't
start.
roll over every month.
Nope, just no rollover minutes.
Or you already used it?
I still got it.
Okay, you can't say it on the podcast.
I
You shut this shit
think
down.
he might have used it. I think he used it the same day we gave it to you.
Oh, I think I sent a GIF. I don't think I said anything.
Yes,
I think I
he
sent a
did.
GIF of like Ice
He
Cube.
sent the GIF of Denzel. Of Denzel is like my nigga.
Gifts don't count.
No, it definitely counts. With Hunter's so white, he's fucking pink. Come on.
Coach McCarthy status.
Jesus Christ. Hunter literally has been 4 different shades of red just in this last hour. He became a special shade of pink when he was talking about Rob Jackson because he was scared he's going to get his ass whipped.
That was a scared shade of pink.
Scared he's going to get his fucking ass whipped by a very large black man. And then he's going to be like, nigga. Come on, my nigga, what are you doing? And he's pink again. We'd have a pinkometer, a pinkometer.
Yeah. You should have it behind here.
We have everything from fucking a KKK fucking hood to a fucking Pepto-Bismol. That's about it. Every time Hunter changed shades.
The peach rings. The peach ring color.
Oh my god, I think we've done too much.
Yeah.
This is over and beyond.
Edit that part out.
This stated.
Nope.
Oh god.
We're keeping it in.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
Well, I've had a good time. Thank you, fellas, for joining me once again. I'm Dylan. I am the boss baby. I am Get Your Shit Together. That is the human sweater vest, Muslim Goku himself, Alfredo Velez, the Joker to my Batman, bad stat guy Hunter.
Hey.
I
still don't know what to say right now.
He's just lost. You need a fucking map, dude. And then Big Brother, Sand Viper, Steven Bretto, thank you for coming in.
Fuck your couch.
All right, that's weird. And we're JumpShot Therapy. We're out of here.